Peace and blessings of Allah be upon all the prophets of Allah, and the last and final messenger of Allah, the Imam of the messengers, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa sallam. First, I'd like to welcome everyone to the Islamic Center. And just to mention to everyone that this month we've been focusing on various journeys towards Islam. A brother came from Marxism to Islam, a brother came from being a non-practicing Muslim to Islam, a brother came from, you could say, a life from the streets towards Islam. And today our fourth lecture is Brother Usamah Louison, or Michael Louison, or Sifu Louison, as you know him, and his journey from Christianity, and also how Wing Chun directed him towards this noble religion of Islam. I leave you with my esteemed guest, Brother Usamah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace upon you and His mercy, and all my non-Muslim guests. Non-Muslim guests. First of all, I'd like to praise Allah for giving me the guidance and what I have in my life. Nothing happens without Allah. So I pray to Him first. First of all, I'll try to introduce myself. My name is Usamah Michael Louison. My profession is really qualified designer. I worked in most of the hotels in West End. But the last 30 years, I've been studying martial arts, Wing Chun. I've been teaching Wing Chun for 20 years and studied Wing Chun for 10 years. So in that time, 30 years of Wing Chun. That's my experience. And also worked for another company teaching team building. Teaching how people work together to improve their structure and in the work, life, everything like that. And so, but most of my time I spend now teaching martial arts Wing Chun to non-Muslims and Muslims next door to the Islamic Center. I will start off from my background. My parents, they're from Roman Catholic. They're from the Caribbean, St. Lucia. They came here in the 60s, and I was born here. And they're, like I said, from Roman Catholic. They're not strong Roman Catholic, but are Roman Catholics. Most of the time, at that time, when I was young, I can recall, most of the people from Caribbean were from Roman Catholic, especially from Caribbean islands. So, but most of them didn't really practice. They just from Roman Catholic, you know. And I used to go to church, but I wasn't deep into church. I went to church because my parents had nowhere to put us. 6 kids, 3 brothers, 2 sisters, me including 6 of us. And on the weekends, they didn't know where to put us, so they brought us to church. And really, I didn't know what I was doing in church. I was just there having fun, playing, things like that. I got baptized. I didn't get baptized in church because I was born premature. So everyone was down in the hospital. So they thought I was going to die at that time. So I got my name in church, in the hospital, and that was it. But when I got older, my parents had the way of the Christianity faith in them. I didn't see no pictures on the walls in my parents' house of Jesus Christ, nothing like that. So alhamdulillah, I didn't get caught up in that situation. But some of my cousins, I went to their house and I see many pictures on the wall. It's really, I can recall one house I went to, my family's house, cousins. I couldn't see the wallpaper on the wallpaper. All I saw was pictures of Jesus, Mary, statues, everything like that. And that was quite strange for me. And I couldn't see the carpet neither because it's all furniture. So you can know a long time ago, like as black people when they had their furniture, they put plastic on the seats, you know, don't want no one to sit down on their seats. You have a special room for the guests only. So my parents had the same situation. We had a room, we couldn't go into the sitting room because it was only for guests. But don't worry, when they was out to work, we went inside there and muck around and played as kids. You know, so I wasn't a naughty kid, but I try and do what I can get away with. That was it, you know. And so going to church on a Sunday, not every day, not every weekend. I need some Sundays. And my brother now, he's a Christian, he's practicing Christian now. And I've got a strong family. Regardless, I'm a Muslim. My brothers and sisters are Christian, and they're practicing right now. But we have a strong bond together. And they respect me, what I believe in, and I respect them what they believe in. And that's very, very important. Most important things, I'm going to try and put these certain words in your head so you can remember. Intention, knowledge, structure, action, hope, understanding, love, and belief. These words play a big point in my life. Whether I'm a Muslim or non-Muslim. And you will see from my journey through Islam, telling you, how did I become Muslim? And before I was a Muslim, you see these words come into play. But they're really important words. And without these words, this structure, you'll be a bit lost. In life, we have no structure, and we have structure. And everyone's looking for a structure in life. And through my experience, from my travelling, I've gained a structure, and I find a better structure, which is Islam for me. And no one don't know how better structure is until you try it, and read about it, and get knowledge from it. So for me, I've done everything in life already, as you'll see, going through my journey through Islam. But Islam is the best one. I have many teachers in the past, my comfort teachers, my parents are teachers, my friends are teachers, even people who are criminals are teachers. They will teach you how to steal and teach you not to steal, because you've got to know what's right and wrong. So I've done both ways. So my friends who are criminals, they were my teachers. So I didn't leave nothing bit alone. So I brought up my time, my life, when I was growing up, just to teach and study, without even knowing it. Just teach and study. So when I went to go to school, very young age, what I love a lot. Play. I love to play a lot, you know. And when you're young, you know, my brothers will play. One thing about our family, brothers and sisters, we didn't fight. Some families fought, we didn't fight at all. We fought everybody else, but not us, not brothers and sisters. You know, anybody trouble my brother, I intervene. Anybody trouble me, they intervene. But I was the middle one, and I couldn't fight. So no one interfered with me. So at a young age, I remember going to primary school. The school was dominated white people, Caucasian. So at that time in the 80s, there was a lot of races going on. But I didn't really ride me at all, really. I just dealt with it. This is part of life. Living in an area, different cultures, and most important, dominant area I lived in was Deptford. And the school went to Deptford Park, and there's a lot of pure white people. Yeah? There's only about 4 black families in that school. And that time, I didn't really feel racist at all, but I knew it was there, because no one interfered with me at all. I can remember going to the school the first time, primary school. I must have been about 9 or 10. And my parents always told me, have good manners, respect everybody, don't get in trouble, whatever. But they said, anybody interfere with you, my father said, fight back. So I had that in my head straight away. So when I went to school first time, black kid, they're going to try and get one on you. Yeah, I fought the first person, give them a good beating, and afterwards they leave me alone. That's it. Yeah, you find that from my experience, through playing or fighting, that people will leave you alone if you fight back. But if you don't retaliate back, they will come on oppressing you. So I learned from a young age not to be oppressed. So I have never in my life lost a fight. Alhamdulillah. you know, in my time of growing up. And I had many fights, you will see later on. And most important thing, then I got to know the people very well. Regardless they were white, they were still nice. They were still nice people. You had some bad people, you had some nice people. So growing up around a lot of white people, they were nice to me. I can recall one time in Deptford, there was a National Front, and they were attacking a lot of black people. And some of the white people I knew who were National Front, they saw me, and they said, leave that guy alone. They knew me, you know, so I went, wow, at that time, at least alhamdulillah, I wasn't Muslim at the time, but now alhamdulillah, you know. And so I said to myself, look at that. Because they know me, I got away with it. Because they know me. Then I realised that not everybody was a racist. That was the first experience of race I had, you know, but I realised not everybody was a racist. And I also know now I went to a black school now, went to another secondary school now. It's completely different again now. That's when you have to fight. The school was dominating blacks, and they're all fighting you now. So what was strange, going to a white school, not many people attacked me, but going to a black school, everyone was attacking you. So I find it quite strange. And then I realised that racism is also in black people too, because I come from a small island, they say St. Lucia, there are a lot of Jamaicans, a lot of Africans. So I realised that race is there again. But not everyone was racist, but some were. So we also have racists also in black culture, what people think we do not have, we do have. But at that time going to school, they wanted to make me as a principal because I was always looking for justice and didn't want to, you know, I like to fight, but I didn't fight for just to fight. I fight because I enjoy fighting. And then when they troubled me, I would defend myself. So when I was in secondary school now, my brother was there before me, my older brother was there before me, and when I arrived in school, I said, someone's trying to pick on me. He said to me, don't worry, fight your own battles. Yeah, fight your own battles, right? Because if I helped you, they'll think you need your brother all the time. So I said, okay. So I fought this guy. I gave him a beating again. This guy gave me a really bad beating too. So examples show everybody, look how I fight, and I fight vicious, and anybody want to fight me again, you can get the same beating what this guy's got. And I was young. So, that fight I had, hey, that was done with. Book is shut. No one interfered me in school again. But through like 16, 17, you had some people, bullying people, taking people's money, and they also come up to me saying, oh Mike, this guy took my money. I said, oh, take me to him, give back his money. Then they give back his money, because they knew that I would fight them. Justice. And just as I got through my life, is for watching a program come through, David Carradine. And I was impressed by this program. And not the spiritual type, I was the justice type. And I was always voting for the winner, goodie, not the baddie. And some of my friends were all baddies, but I always went on the goodie side. So my way of thinking was also be strong, be powerful, and help the weak. Okay? So anytime I got in a situation, or people got in a situation, they came to me and asked me, can you solve the problem? Because I can fight. And there's one time, there's one bully, and this guy was from Africa. Don't know what nationality, what part of Africa he's from. All I know, he was big and strong. This is the first time I fought African. And when I fought him, he tried to take my eyes out. And I said, whoa, these guys fight dirty. And he tried to lift me up and throw me on the car. So I said, oh man, so I've got to know how to fight dirty. So I went fighting dirty too. I didn't take his eyes out, I lifted him up and put his head on the door. Banging on the door, wall, everything. And after they stopped the fight, and then, the guys, we calmed down and things like that, left each other alone, and from then there was no fighting again. That's at school. But my parents always, when I got in trouble, I told my parents was quite supportive to me. Any situation I got in trouble, they know I wasn't a mad person, I wasn't to want to fight. They know that I mind my own business, I do what I do, and that was it. So they were quite supportive to me, and there was no problem. So a lovely background family. My mother and father was really good. My father was a really loving person. He's still a loving person and generous person. My mum at the time was very hard and strong. If you knocked on my door and asked for Michael, my mum would say, who you want, what you want, and why you want to see him. So later on, I told my mum, you can't be so harsh to the people who come to the house to see us. She said, why? It's my house. So I said, okay, yeah, it's true, it is your house. I'm only 16. So, but my mum was protective, loving, and she didn't want no one to interfere with the children, things like that. So I can understand that growing up now. But later on, I'm 10, 18, my mum started to be open-minded. We talked to speak to her in face and camera and sit down with us. And that's what it was. My mum was changed to be open-minded. Now my mum is a lovely mother now, open-minded. I can talk to her about anything. Because, why? She's open-minded. Now my parents are open-minded at all, therefore I have a problem. Therefore there's some brothers I know from who's got fathers and mothers and not open-minded and have a hard time. Unfortunately, alhamdulillah, I didn't have no hard time at all with my parents. So maybe Allah was directing me, directing my parents to guide me and also make it easy for me. But some of my friends got beatings a lot from their parents. There was one situation when we were all sitting down outside our house, and my friend didn't wash the dishes. We called the ways of the dishes. The black people know, go wash the wheels or the dishes. And one time we was all sitting down, and my friend's sitting here, I'm sitting here, my brother's sitting here, other friend's sitting here, and we saw his mum coming, approaching with a pot in her hand. A frying pan. And we didn't say nothing, because we wanted to see what she was going to do. That's how our mindset was. We didn't mind anyone got a beating, we'll see what happens. So she walked up to him, and she went to him, bala, on the head, with the frying pan. Go and wash the wheels. Go and wash the dishes. And we laughed. It was funny. And he ran down the road, screaming, my head, my head, my head. So anyway, his mum, next time we see him, we was laughing at him. We say, look, your mum beat you in front of all of us with a frying pan, He goes, yeah, that's my mum. But my friend always had the dog with him all the time, And this dog, he's always carried with him. And come here, the dog was called Rusty. Everywhere we see the dog, you must see my friend. Yeah? Everywhere you went, we see the dog. I think that dog was his protection, because people used to bully him. this is growing up. And then I'm going to school. Then one day I was watching, like I said, martial arts and Kung Fu on TV. That's what inspires me to come through. As I knew to fight a lot, but I want to learn Kung Fu. So I started to learn what's martial arts on TV, what's the late night movies. At that time, when I started to watch late night movies, I was 18. When I was 16, I couldn't go out at all because my parents wouldn't let us go out curfew. So when I was 18, I just started to go to late night movies. When you watch movies at late night at night, it starts at 11:30 and finishes about 2 o'clock in the morning. Show 2 films. So I really got into Chinese movies. And I got into Jackie Chan. And I said to myself, the intention in my life, I'd like to go to Jackie Chan, just be Jackie Chan in the future, in my lifetime. Go to Hong Kong, but also learn martial arts and things like that. That was my intention. And that was my love to do, you know. So years passed on, still training. And then one day I saw something on TV. I saw a lot of people around a box, a black box. I had no idea what it was. But it was quite impressive for me because I come from a situation where I was young, all white people, then all black people. Then another situation, I know some Indian people. But when I saw on TV, some people going around box, a lot of people in the country, I had no idea where it was. And later on, I come to know it was the Kaaba. People going around the Kaaba, doing tawaf, means go around, you know, for Hajj. I had no idea where it was. But at the time, I loved it because I saw many nationalities in one place doing something. I never saw it before in my whole life, you know, in TV. I always saw white people on TV, black people doing crime, Indians selling food, Chinese doing Kung Fu. But I never see a nationality of people all together. And then I realised that later on when I got older, I realised this was Islam. And I said, alhamdulillah, it's really nice. That was a lovely thing what I saw. But I didn't see it again for many, many years. I just saw it on TV. I didn't know what it was at the time. Anyway, my life carried on. I went to learn martial arts. I saw one of my friends practicing martial arts. And I've seen controlling someone quite easy, finesse, really easy. And I said to myself, man, I want to do that. So what I did, I enrolled myself in the school. I was about 16. And in the start I was doing full prime mantis. I did it for six months. But at the same time I was going to college doing designing and decorating. So my time was always taken up. I had no time for waste times. I was always doing something. And plus, I want to get the house because my mum would always moan at the time. Parents always moan when I was young. Can't do this, can't sit there, can't go here, can't do this. So what do? You go out and study. You know, you get away from the chat, you know. And it wasn't really moaning. They telling us to do something. And as a young kid, we really don't want to do nothing at all. That's the difference. When we're young, we don't want to do nothing. We just want to sit down and do what we want to do. Yeah? Eat, watch TV, and that's it. So when our parents tell us something, we sort of rebel a bit. Or we go out and start to play with other things, other friends, things like that. But what I did, I didn't really go out and play too much. I went to study. I didn't want to sort of mess up my life. I know a lot of people in the streets who was in gangs, who had knives and things like that, and really, really bad. So I started to learn martial arts to pass the time. And plus I love martial arts at the same time. So my experience in martial arts got really strong. And at the same time, before martial arts, I used to go to nightclubs and things like that. Normal person, young person, but not really too much nightclubs. Because I did it when I was very young, at 16. And I can guarantee that every black kid did this when they're 16, my age, in the 80s. You sneaked out to go to a nightclub. Your parents tell you go to sleep, and what you do? You put a pillow, the bed, cover it, and you sneak out the window and you go to a boogie. And you come back 6 o'clock in the morning and jump back in your bed. And that's what we always used to do, all of us, in the 80s. And it was one day I got caught. My parents, I got through the door and I saw lights on at night time, 4 o'clock in the morning. I said, man, I got caught. What am I going to do? I said, I'll go in. My father was staying waiting for me with the belt. Yeah. So I said to myself, man, I better take the punishment. So I took the beating. But it was worth the beating. I enjoyed myself at the same time. But I said to myself, boy, that beating was a bit harsh. But I said to myself, I'm not going to do it again. Or I'm not going to get caught again. you know. So I weighed it up. Anyway, and afterwards, I get older, I stopped doing all that rubbish again, and I started to be more respectable with my parents and start listening to them, everything like that. My father was always telling me certain things, don't do this, don't do that, and tell me, be careful with these people, this and that. And so he was reminding me all the time. And when I used to go out, I used to see things and observe everything. So when my father would tell me something about a person, I see it straight away, right in front of me. And I sit back, I said, man, that's what my dad said. So I stopped, didn't do it. So alhamdulillah, my dad gave me some direction in life, to his best of knowledge, and I thank him for that. And that's why I learned from my parents, you know, but not from a Christian point of view. They were all Christians, but they weren't really strong practicing Christians. Like I said, most of our parents at that time go to church every Sunday, do all the rubbish in the week, dancing, boogies, things like that, and gambling, but on Sunday they go to church. It's common right now. All from the Muslims common right now for the Muslims, do the same thing like the Christians. They do everything during the week and come Jummah on Friday. So you see, we all follow the same route sometimes, if we're not strong enough in our religion. So after that, practicing, I was fighting with some people, and someone said to me, there's going to be a fight, there's some gang, going to be a fight. And my friends are quite mad. They have swords in their back and choppers. Yeah? And I've got mad friends, I've got good friends, they're bad friends. And I want to fight. So they said to me, yeah, we're going to fight this gang. So I said, what you got? They said, look, watch. Chopper. I said, it's extreme, isn't it? One said, no, what? Ninja sword, you know? So I said to myself, no, this is too much. Someone's going to die, you know? And because I watched a lot of movies about prison, I didn't want to go there. Because I saw people movies about prison. So when you know what's movies about prison, you think your mind about everything. So prison, go inside prison, and then they give you a new name. They give you a name called Mary. Why? Because you're someone's girl when you go in prison. So I said to myself, my friends are mad, a bit mad, but I don't want to go to prison to what they're doing, mad things that they're doing. So I stepped back. And I said, look guys, you go for too much. You know, I'm not going that far. So I stopped. You know I can fight, you know I can fight, but you're going too over the extreme. You know, it's not about that. It's not about, don't push the borders, you know. But there were people, they were young, no guidance, no family, no mother and father to guide them. So I was, alhamdulillah, lucky I had the parents to guide me. They didn't have that. They come from broken families, they were poor, they couldn't do nothing, they robbed, that's all they can do. So I always pray when I was young to say, don't let me be poor and don't let me be rich. If I'm poor, that means I can do anything and ordinary to rob anyone. If I'm rich, I can forget myself and do anything to the extreme. So I said, what I want, the middle one, balanced one. So that was my way of thinking at the time. Life carried on, and then one day a situation happened in a youth club. I was sparring some people, mucking around fighting. I kicked someone really hard, and he conked out, and I thought he was dead. So I said to myself, man, I'm not fighting no one ever again, because I kicked this guy in the chest, and he didn't wake up for about 5 minutes. And I thought, man, oh my God, maybe he's dead. What am I going to do? Anyway, we recovered him. He got up, and I was so happy, you know. So I said, man, since that day, I said, I'm not going to fight no one again. Let me go and learn martial arts properly, because I'm doing martial arts from the TV, but not really learning martial arts. So what I did, I started to learn martial arts properly. So I found a teacher. His name was Sifu Louison, a nice guy. He spoke about 17 languages. He's half Chinese, half Filipino. He's from Hong Kong, but he's living over here. And at that time I was about probably 17, you know. And his school was in North London, Stoke Newington, but I lived in South East. So what I did for a whole year, I literally went to North London to study martial arts from this guy. Everyone thought that I moved out of the area because they didn't see me. And what I did, I went to just learn martial arts. I stopped going clubbing, I just done pure martial arts and study. And that sort of took me out of trouble also. So alhamdulillah, that was good. And then one day, you know, after doing martial arts for about a year and a half, one of my friends said to me, oh, let's go to a club. I said, no, I don't really go to clubs no more, you know, I'm just training. But he said, no, let's go to the club, let's have fun, go to a club. So I said, okay, I'll go. I'll go to a club now. What happens? I'm standing up, enjoying myself. Someone pushed me from behind. So I turned around to the guy, what are you pushing me for? He said, I stepped in your shoes. So I said, look man, I didn't step in your shoes. If I did, I would say sorry. He goes, no, you stepped in my shoes. So he goes to me, so he pushed me again. He said, you want to fight? I said, look, I don't want to fight, let's come and fight. And suddenly, he brought a knife out, trying to stab me. And because I knew some martial arts and self-defense, I kicked him in his chest. So he was shocked. Then he come again, and I punched him, and the knife just tipped me on my top of my head. And afterwards, they jumped in and stopped the fight, and then they said to him that, everyone said to him, Mike, you know, he's gonna, don't carry on, don't, go after him, you know. I said, man, the guys were trying to stab me. What do you think I'm gonna do, you know? So the guy said, they said, yeah, but he's got a lot of brothers. So I said, I don't care, you know. Eventually, it quieted down the club. I said, I left, and they said to me, look, this guy's got weapons. So I said, yeah, so have I got weapons? I had a license to carry weapons. So I said, okay, got weapons? I carry weapons. So next day, I put my pen in my jacket, my long coat, and I walked down the street normal. And suddenly, the guy heard about me, and they said, you fought one of the, they said to one of the guys, you fought one of the Louisons. He said, yeah. They said, what one do you fight with? He said, don't know. They call him Chan. You fought Jackie Chan? That's what my nickname they call me, because I do martial arts. So I said, you fought Jackie Chan? No, Jackie Chan will bust you up. He'll mess you up badly. You better go and apologize to him. So this guy realized who I was, and no, I wasn't backing down. So my friend came up to me about a week later and said, Mike, the guy wants to meet you, apologize. You know, don't fight him, please, don't fight him. So I said, okay, I'll calm down. So I met the guy. So the guy apologized. I said, you know what, guy? You should be careful who you attack sometimes, who you push, because sometimes you get someone in trouble, you don't know who you're dealing with, you know. So I let it pass, but you learn from this. Don't go around bullying anybody you don't know. So he learned from this, you know. So everything passed, went away, you know. And then about broccoli, they all say Jackie Chan was here, Jackie Chan. And they call me Jackie Chan because when I started learning martial arts, I got into character. I love Jackie Chan so much, I started with the Chinese uniform and the slippers. So when people saw me, they say, it's Jackie Chan. You know, so that's my character. I got into character because I love that martial arts so much. So after that, I started learning martial arts still from my teacher. And then my teacher started to travel different countries to do workshops. He asked me, can I assist him at a very young age? And at 18, I started to assist him go to America, Italy, Spain, France, and assist him teaching martial arts. At that time, I started to know a lot of the other countries. And through different people, cultures. I lived in Italy for a little bit. I learned some Italian, a little bit Italian, just to stay in Italy. Because every time I travel to any country, if you don't know any language, you get in trouble. You can't get around at all. And people speak to you weird anyway. And I want to know what people are talking about. So I learned some Italian, stayed with my friends. His mum was Italian, his father was Italian, they only speak Italian. So it's quite good for me to improve my Italian. So I learned a bit of Italian just to go there. So all these countries I've travelled, France, Spain, America, and doing work with my teacher. And then one day I said to myself, guess what, I'm going to go to Hong Kong. I had a job from another teacher, which is named Sifu Louison, and he works in the movies. So he asked me and some other group of people I knew, can we do a show in the circus, a martial arts show, for about, I think about 4 months in Great Yarmouth. And this was like in the 80s. So I said to him, yeah, no problem, I'll do it. But it was like a really hardcore performance, really hardcore, breaking bricks and things like that in the air, you know, breaking chopsticks on your throat, you know, madness is what they're doing there in Chinese movies and things like that. I was doing it at a very young age. But there's nothing special about it. It just how to do it. You can do it. Anyone can do it. Just learn how to do it. So I started all performing for about 4 months. And after 4 months, I said I was so tired. I said, look, I've made enough money. I'm gonna go to Hong Kong. And remember I said my intention to go to Hong Kong in the future? It came. Yeah. So I learned Wing Chun from my teacher, Sifu Louison. I went to go and see his older kung fu brother, which is Sifu Louison Hong. And he's a student of Wang Shilong. And Wang Shilong was my grandfather, what we call Si Gung. And my teacher's brother is called Si Bak, uncle. So Wang Shilong taught Bruce Lee And I didn't know that until I went to Hong Kong, learning martial arts. But when I went to Hong Kong, I found out that the Wing Chun I was learning was really famous. You know, and then Bruce Lee was in this, the teacher, the guy, Wong Shilong, who taught Bruce Lee, I was learning from him too, at that time. But at that time, when I arrived in Hong Kong, now, culture shock again. Because I arrived in Hong Kong, and they'd never seen black people before. This is 30 years ago. So when I arrived in Hong Kong, it was a shock for me. First it was culture shock, but I wasn't really worried because I come from an area, Deptford, where I went to a school with mostly white people. So I was used to it. So I said, you call me name, no problem. I can get used to it, I can overcome that. I went to the area where it's all black people, and been fighting all the time, so I must have used that also. Now I went to Hong Kong, they looked at you strange, because you were black. And before going to Hong Kong, when I was learning martial arts, I learned a bit of Chinese, because I liked Chinese cooking, I learned to cook Chinese, and I learned language, a bit of language, just to get by. And at that time, I knew I was going to Hong Kong, so I prepared myself for it. I went to evening classes to learn some Chinese. I learned Chinese to get around, to have a conversation with the person, how you are, what's your number, where you live, so I can do all that, no problem. And I also learned a Chinese character, numbers. So therefore, when I go buy something, they can't cheat me. I can recognise the character and number, what it is. So if someone said $5 in character, Chinese character, and they tell me $20, I say, no, that's a $5 character. You can't rip me off. So I'm quite versed of travelling and know how people rip you off, don't care where you went to and what nationality you was. If they can rip you off as a foreigner, they will. So I prepare myself. Now you see, prepare myself for everything what I'm doing in life. So what I did, I went to, got in Hong Kong, arrived in Hong Kong, met a friend that was staying there, a French guy, staying with him. Went to Wing Chun school the first time, they greeted me, they were very, very nice. And regardless, the Hong Kong Chinese people at that time, never seen black people before, when you used to walk the street, they'd say, Hugwai, Hugwai. And Hugwai means a black devil. Right? So I said to them, what do you call it Hugwai? You know? So after I said, what is his name, Hugwai? You know, and they said, Guai Lo means a white devil. But they didn't do it as offensive. That's the term that they were using. You know, so, not as a racist term. Yeah? Like you see a black man, a white man, white man. You know, you go to another country, they tell you this. But for us, it was offensive. You know? So after a while, I'm living there, you know, I'm walking, and one morning in Hong Kong, come to the house, walking the road, and all children follow me, look at me like this. You know, just following me, look at me. Because they look at me in black. They've never seen a black person before at that town, that village. So, it didn't really affect me at all. I went there for a reason. I went to Hong Kong for a reason, to learn martial arts. And they was curious. They looked at me as a black person. Another situation, I go into a restaurant, and you know when you hear that people eating food in Chinese, really noisy, talking, hey, Homa, go lea, take fana, you know, ask for food and everything like that. They sit mea, you know, what you want to eat, you know. Oh, fogea, go lea, waiter come over here, you know. And you hear all these like, money, how much it costs and things like that. So when I walked inside, it went quiet. Dead quiet. So my friend next to me said to me, he's laughing. He said, it went dead quiet. No noise at all. So my friend said to me, Chola? No, have a seat. So they say he's speaking in Cantonese. So they say, sit me out. You order, you know? And then I realised I can speak some Chinese. And after it went back normal again, talking. Everyone talking, normal again. Normal again, you know? So it was quite funny. But I looked at Chinese people, I know it's racist. Some are racist, some are not racist. Like any other country, any other culture, same thing. It was different for them seeing a black person, you know. And for me, it was also different because I didn't see black people for 1 year. All I see were pure Chinese people and pure black hair. All Chinese people got black hair, yeah. And when they used to say to me that black people look alike, I used to say to them Chinese people look alike, you know. And after they used to say to me, oh, they call me Hugwai, I'll call them Wang Fire, means yellow devil, yeah. And afterwards I said, look, let's call me Hakyan, black person. It's more nicer. Black people would know it better. So I was educating them as a black person. Say, look, black people don't like to be called devils. White people don't call devils. Let's call Bakyan a white person or Hakyan a white person. It's more polite, you know. So I was, as a black person, I was also representing black people, you know. And one time I went with my friend to a laundrette, another situation, and when I walked through the door, the woman stepped back behind the counter. So I asked my friend, what's wrong with her? Why is she stepping back? She thinks you eat people. Yeah. I said, what? She thinks you eat people. I said, you guys watch so much TV, media, you know? I said, we don't eat people. And, well, I don't eat people. Maybe another part of Africa may eat people, but I don't, you know? So, it was so they, after a while, you know, I'm a black person in Hong Kong, representing a black person, but if I didn't eat people, they could say, yeah, we do eat people. I didn't eat people, yeah? So you overcome that, you know. At the same time, I'm still learning my Sifu Louison. Chinese culture got a lot of morals, you know, a lot of culture. I didn't get into Buddhism, I didn't worship nobody, I didn't bow down to nobody. I wasn't brought up to bow down to no man, nothing like that. And I didn't even embrace Islam yet. That was me. I respect people as people, and that's it. But I didn't worship no one at all. If you've got a skill, I appreciate it, I respect you for it, but I don't worship you at all. I never worshipped no people, idols, singers, nothing like that. I just enjoyed the company, enjoyed what they sang, and that was it. So one day, after staying 1 year in Hong Kong, I came back and started to help my teacher teach over here. And then we sort of went our separate ways later on. And then I started to teach later on in 1995. I opened my own school teaching. And when I started to teach, I had my own method of teaching. And my method was, anybody I teach must have good character, have good respect, good manners, and not be a bully. And I'm not going to teach you. And I can teach anybody. Because I travelled in different countries, I didn't want to have a school just whites. I didn't want to have a school just blacks. I want to have a school mixture. Everything's got to be mixed, and everyone's got to be in harmony. So my structure of the school was in my head already. So one day, after in 1995, I had my school, teaching many people, still travelling overseas with my teeth now and then, but eventually I stopped travelling overseas, went back to Hong Kong now and then, and eventually I stayed in London. One I had my boy, he's a big boy now, he's grown up, big man now. And I started to teach here a lot. And then when I started to teach, more people will learn from me, coming from different countries will learn from me. But the most important thing, I taught by character. That was it. Then one day, one of my students, after many years, he's been with me, he was a Muslim. I didn't know he was a Muslim. His name was Yufus Siddiq. Really nice brother. We talked about Islam, and you know, he told me, you've got all the manners of an Islam Muslim. The way you think, the way you do, everything's like a Muslim, but you're not a Muslim. So I said to him, you've got good character, you're polite, you give people respect. One thing about me, I don't take no abuse. I'm fair and just, and any negative, I turn to the positive. Anybody gets my nerves, I deal with them really quickly. I don't let things settle on me. So in my life, any negative comes to me, I do it really quickly and turn to positive. I never keep a negative a negative. So I look at negative and turn it to positive. That's why I think. So my friend said to me, look, you got manners of all the Islamic. What you do, Islamic. All you don't do is believe in God. You know it's a God, but you don't really know about God. And he was right. So one day, he brought me down to meet Imam Shakil. That's the first time I met Imam Shakil. This is 9 years ago. I've been a Muslim for 9 years. I saw Imam Shakil 10 years ago for the first time. And my friend, Yufus, all praise to him for giving direction of Islam. I hope Allah rewards him and his family and giving Jannah and source. And introduced me to Imam Shakil. Imam Shakil spoke to me a lot about Islam. I just listened. I remember like yesterday, Imam. It's like yesterday. I listened to Imam Shakil, telling about Islam, the pillars of Islam, everything like that. But I said to myself, me, I don't jump in anything just like that. Regardless, someone just told me something. So what I did, I read books for a year in Islam. And the best book I read was the Quran. And the second book I read about Muhammad, about the Prophet Muhammad.
Yes, that is.
The Prophet was my best teacher and is my best teacher today. I advise everybody, no Muslim or Muslim, to read. Even Muslims don't read about the Prophet Sirah. The Imams all talk about the Sirah. Read the Prophet, the Sirah of the Prophet, people on it. You read this book, it covers everything. I mean everything. Go to a toilet, marriage, kids, business, interacting business, travelling, eating, cooking, everything it covers. Islam covers everything. And in my life, travelling, through my experience from life at a very young age, I was always searching for something. I'd done martial arts because there was something missing. I needed to fill the gap. But I was looking for something really special. I didn't know what it was. I travelled to many countries, meet different cultures. Many people were very nice, had a bit of this, had a bit of that. But when I started reading about Islam, it had everything. I mean everything. And I started to read more about Islam. And then, from my martial arts experience, in martial arts, there's an action. You learn something, you've got to learn the action. You can't just learn martial arts and can't do it. You'll be tested. And through Islam, I read about everything about Islam, especially the Quran, you were tested. And you got a chance to repent and fix yourself. So this book was a book of guidance. And there's no other book like it. I don't care the Bible, any other book, but the Quran has got everything in it you want in there. If you spend time to read it. But I didn't read the Quran once. I read the Quran many times. Because when you read a book once, you just go through it really quickly. And you say, yeah. But when you start reading it again, you miss something. And because my training, what my training taught me, learning martial arts, repetitions. And when you do repetition of something, you get stronger and stronger and stronger in your belief. And when you understand something, you do it better and better and better. When you love something, you love it and you always carry on doing it. So for me, I had all these points, like I said, knowledge, understanding, structure, loving, belief, and the intention. And I had all this in my mind. But when I read the Quran, it had all this in there. Everything. And that's what inspired me to become a Muslim. And I will never turn back to disbelief. Yeah? Don't care if Satan's always trying to test you, trying to teach you back, put you back to disbelief. As for Muslims, my mind is strong through my martial arts. And for Muslims, their mind will be strong for their religion. But if you don't know your religion very well, you can never be strong. If you don't practice your religion very well, you can never be strong. And this is what my martial arts has taught me. If I practice martial arts every day, with the right knowledge and the right understanding, my martial art becomes strong. So I always tell my students, martial arts, the way I teach, is a structure, and understanding, then implementing it in any given situation. If you can do that, you have completed the task. If you haven't learned something, just learn something to put on the mantelpiece, or just learn something by talking it. So for Islam, it's got all that in it. But unfortunately, we can all talk about Islam, but the action of it is very, very hard. Very, very hard. Example, the prayer. It's the basic thing for Muslims to do, get in the morning and do the Fajr prayer. What can be at 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, depends on the sun. But it's hard for everyone to do. And that's the basics. Me, I do the form, a Wing Chun form we call Sifu Louison, for 30 years. And I've done it every day for 30 years. Why? Because I understand it and I love it. That's good. Nothing else. Now, becoming a Muslim now, the Fajr prayer and all the prayers are easy for me because I had a structure in myself, a strong belief in myself. And when I read the Islam, it was confirmed. So it's easy for me to become a strong Muslim and a balanced Muslim, not too extreme to either side, not weak, not too strong, just balance. And because I can talk to anybody about anything, I can travel anywhere, and they leave me alone. Even when I go to my parents' house, they said to me, Michael won't go to his cousin's house if you guys play music. Michael won't sit at the table with you if you've got alcohol. They respect me, they respect my religion, I accompany them. But I respect my parents also, and they respect me. So I won't do nothing to belittle my religion at all. And you can call me extremist or not, I extremely love Islam, I extremely love Wing Chun. Yeah? That's how I use the word, extreme. I extremely love. I extremely love my brothers, my Khamri brothers, and my Muslim brothers. I extremely love them to death. That's how I use it, the word extreme. Yeah? Not as a Western person use it. But, very important, what I learned to interact with the people. If you don't interact with people, they have no idea what you're thinking, what you're doing, or whatever. And we have identity as a Muslim. You know, even when I was working before, I became a Muslim 9 years ago. I worked for a company in the hotels. They said to me, they were saying to me, I'm going to shave my beard. I said, no, I'm not going to shave my beard. I'm working still, I'm not going to shave my beard. I said to them that when the guest comes in with a lot of money, do you tell them to shave their beards? No, you don't. So what are you telling me to shave my beard for? I'm working. They're paying you money coming. They're not right about me. But it's you right about me. Tell me right about me. I'm working. You know. So you have to know how to handle and tackle them. You know. But eventually, alhamdulillah, they may be redundant because I'm not going to shave my beard anyway. But what was really surprising for me, one time I was in the bathroom in a hotel, and I was doing wudu, washing, preparing for prayer, and the guy next to me came in, and he was doing wudu, but he didn't say salams to me. I said to him, "Are you a Muslim?" He goes, "Yeah." So I said, "Why you never say salams then? You know I'm a Muslim because you can see I'm doing wudu, and I've got a beard, I've got a thobe on, but you have no beard. I didn't know you was a Muslim or not." So I said, "Look, try to be strong. You know, it's a test, and that's what I read from the Quran and the Sunnah. And most Muslims believe just for the Quran. No, you have two books, the Quran and the Sunnah. The Sunnah is the way of the Prophet. His life, what he said, what he did, or his actions. You have to have two things. Like I told my guys, Wing Chun. When I teach my guys Wing Chun, I really teach them that the way Islam is. I pray that they become Muslims in the future, inshallah. But I just want to direct them, not me. But my Wing Chun, the way I teach, is from an Islamic point of view. Not from a Chinese point of view, not from a Buddhist point of view, not from a black culture point of view, it's pure from Islam point of view. And the Prophet said, he come to perfect your character. So what I do as a Muslim, teaching martial art, improve the person's character, then teach him how to fight. I will never teach someone to fight who's mad. I've got to look at his character first, before I teach him. So a lot of people come to me and say, I want to learn Wing Chun. I say, why? Oh, I'm in a gang, I'm not teaching you. Yeah? Because you don't teach you to fight someone, you come back on me. So I'm not teaching anybody Wing Chun unless you've got good character. Most of the brothers who come to me, say to me, we want to learn Wing Chun. I said, do you do Fajr prayer? They say, no, I'm not going to teach you. If you can't do Fajr prayer, you're not going to take me seriously, are you? So I said, take Allah serious first, and I'll take you serious afterwards. So what I do, I put Allah first. But the non-Muslims don't have no beliefs. They just want to learn something. They're okay. You can teach them. But they come Muslim, they'll have strong belief in their Lord, and then they look at everything second. But right now, the people who don't believe in nothing, believe in the desires. That's all. And they don't want to let it go. That's the difference between Muslims and non-Muslims. So, that's my journey of Islam. There's many things I can talk about, but this is a point of view just to give you to learn from, and you can benefit from me, and that's it really. You know, so thank you very much. If you have any questions.
Thank you, Brother Usamah, our parent. May Allah reward you with better and goodness. Inshallah, if the sisters have any questions, they can write them down. Inshallah, send them down. And the brothers, inshallah, can ask directly, inshallah. I will say it after the sisters can hear the question, inshallah. So any brothers, question concerning the topic?
Where you start doing Chun, your family asked you to do that?
To repeat the question for the sisters, the question from Ibrahim was, when you studied Wing Chun, was your family happy with you studying Wing Chun?
Yeah, my family really happy. I was doing something in life. You know, that's what they're happy. Most parents, I hope you're doing something in life, something productive, regardless of what it is. It's best doing something and doing nothing, and it's best doing something what you shouldn't be doing. Some people do like selling drugs and robbing people. That's not really good. It's not really productive. it might sound appealing to certain people, getting the money, but eventually you get caught. So you enjoy yourself for the time being, but the rest of your life you'll be in prison. So it's a big chance you're taking. So we tried to avoid the people. So my parents knew I wasn't going that way into crime. They knew I was doing something productive. They knew I was doing something that I enjoy. So they left me alone. And they was happy for me, teaching martial arts.
Any other questions?
Yeah. From what I understand, the discipline that you got from Wing Chun really helped you in coming into Islam as well. So, I find a lot of schools doing Taekwondo and stuff. I've never come across Wing Chun in the primary level or secondary level, somebody like around giving that kind of lessons, which is probably beneficial for a lot of.
Just repeat the question for the sisters. The brother basically asked that Wing Chun, played a big part in terms of disciplining you. How comes there is no, there's Taekwondo and other maybe martial art styles, but how comes there's no Wing Chun being taught to very young children in the primary level?
Okay, Wing Chun is quite a unique style and an intellectual style. So therefore, it's very hard for young people to learn Wing Chun. And the way I teach it, I teach kids Wing Chun, but also teach them to work together as a team, and also to have fun at the same time. You have to get a balance. You must understand that most people when they learn martial arts a long time ago, it was only for self-defense, not for mental training. So like people what's come through, or what's any Power Rangers, when they were young, they just want to fight. But when people come to me at a very young age, I teach them discipline. Sit, listen, don't hit each other, control everything, understanding. So the most important thing is understanding. My method is about understanding. So even myself, the way I teach, people come to me and say, your method is completely different to everybody else teaches Wing Chun. I said, yes, because I have a structure. Like I said, our religion has a structure. So I took my religion and put it into my martial arts, and that is the difference. So when people see me do Wing Chun, I said, you want to know my Wing Chun very well? Learn about my religion, and you can learn my Wing Chun very well. Simple. Because my structure is from my religion. But like I said, for my Wing Chun structure, I also learn confidence. You can only learn confidence what you know and what you understand. So, and then you can put it in practice. Like I always state that we know many brothers who practice Islam, but it's hard for them to put things in practice. We have people here, brothers, who argue with each other with poor manners. We have people here with good manners. You have people here who run away brothers from mosques. You have people here who talk about knowledge, talk about something knowledge with no knowledge. So you have a big problem. How do you deal with the problem? Is to have a good structure and deal with the people who have a poor structure. So in my class, it's always good structure. And if my students have a poor structure, I fix them quickly so it becomes good structure. Remember I said, a negative, I turn to positive. So if a brother here is bad, you give nasiha, which is advice, and try to help to your best ability. But if it's a nuisance, a big nuisance, you have to tend to leave. Same in my school. If the guy is a bully and don't want to listen, I say leave. That's it. Simple as that. You don't owe me nothing, I don't owe you nothing. But your character changes and improves, you come back to the school again. So the most important thing is a structure through schools, primary schools, everything like that. Once you've got good structure, you can do everything, and you can progress quite easy. But the structure covers many points. What people understand, where the structure starts from, it starts from home. Not from the madrasa, and not from the mosque. That's what people forget. It starts from the mosque, it doesn't. It starts from home. My structure came from home, into the martial arts world, into Islam, but it was all structured. But if it's chaos from the beginning, at a young age, you go next section, it still might be chaos. Unless you have someone who can control you and teach you and you're willing to listen. So sometime in life, a teacher is looking for a good student. And a student is looking for a good teacher. That is too balanced. No teacher wants a distracted student at all. You get rid of them just like that. And every student wants a good teacher. What is it now? A balance again. So as brothers, we try and get a balance with each other. Example, if I know many brothers here for many years, I know their names, I know what they like to do. We eat and chat. We've got good bad. We pull each other. We know each other. I don't know you. But how to get to know you? How to get to know me? You know, so that's the difference. We have to be open-minded and be willing. Everyone is different, and we all come from different cultural backgrounds also. And sometimes, as Muslims, we are racist. Yeah, but sometimes they're in the book. There's no racism in Islam in the books, in the paperwork. But in action, there is some racist there. We have to be realistic. I'm a realistic person. Yeah, so I know sometimes there is racist. But when you come, deal with it. Teach the person, look, don't be a racist. You're my brother. Open your mind. You know, vice versa. And that's it. You learn. But people will only learn racism by getting taught. Racism not you don't born with racism at all. You get taught racism. So unconsciously without you even knowing. If I give a child, a baby, a black doll, he would say, man, I want a black doll when I get older. Because it's a black doll. But if I give him a black doll and a white doll, he would think, oh, I can leave either one. Not racist, because he's got balance. But I would give him pure black all the time, pure black, pure black. When he gets older, you see a white person, oh, devil. It's not the kid's fault. It's when you've been taught, you know, and you don't know you are doing it without you knowing it. Because it's embedded subconsciously in your mind and your way and your life. And because I travel at a very long age, mixing with different culture, I didn't fall into the trap. But I know many people have fell in the trap. You know, so I tell them, look, open your mind. If you've got an open mind, you can do anything in life. But when your mind is shut, I can't help you. So Imam Shakil is open-minded. He will talk to anybody. That's it. He's open-minded. But you might be close-minded. You see? See the difference now? So who do you blame? Your Imam or yourself? You blame yourself because you're not open-minded. But you blame the Imam instead. It's completely wrong. It's unjust. You have to be just and fair to look at your own personal soul before you look at other people. Yeah?
You see the brother in the masjid of good character and no good character. What's your advice to the brother in the masjid?
The question was, if you see somebody in the mosque, in the masjid, with good character and bad character, what's your advice in dealing with them?
The advice is a person of good character. That is, a person of good character, you don't have nothing to write about him at all. Nothing to write about him. He will always improve with his good character. The one in bad character, that's what you've got to write about. You've got to deal with him quickly. Sometimes they're there, and sometimes in a nice way, loving way. It depends on his background and how he sees things. You can't just tackle everyone the same way. Everyone is different. So therefore, I'll look at the person, why he's like that way. Is he racist? Or he had a bad upbringing? Or he doesn't like other cultures, or whatever it may be. It must be something, but I'll speak to him, be patient with him, and teach him to the best of my ability. But if I find that he's negative, really negative, I said, look, leave. Best you leave, because you're going to cause problems everywhere else. And until you really come back and change your ways, come back in again. That's the best way you can deal with it. Yeah.
Somewhat.
Mark Usamah from the chat. What do you think, like, from you're talking too much about the Wing Chun, you like, I know, is it less like bad things to give da'wah about Islam for your family, especially your family? Because maybe your sport will change you, not the religion.
No. Okay.
The question was, inshallah, do you think, when you're mentioning about Wing Chun, that your family might think what has changed you to the better is the Wing Chun and not Islam?
Okay, my family changed the better through Islam. Why? Because I practice Islam. When you do Wing Chun, what you do, you fight. But when you do Islam, it's way of life. That's the difference. My parents don't see me fighting every day, but they see me practicing Islam every day. The way I dress, the way I eat, when I meet people, what I do or don't do, it's all from Islam. But martial arts is only through martial arts people. And martial arts people must have good character to teach martial arts people. So that's the difference. So myself, as a Muslim, I have to perform as a Muslim. Now if I perform in bad character as a Muslim, therefore people think Muslims like this way. That's the difference. So in the book it's perfect, but the person doing the action is not perfect. He's not from the books. And that's the problem with Islam. So the idea is for the brothers to interact and practice Islam, be strong and proud of the Islam, and they'll be okay. But if you're not practicing your Islam, not proud of your Islam, and you're only Islam part-time, what do you expect? You know, if you only go to mosque once now and then, what do you expect? You know, if you dress like a kafir, what do you expect? You know, so you have to love Islam, and then when you love something, what you do? You portray it out. You come out, please. You love it. I love martial arts, I like to fight. But do I fight Islam? No. I learn from Islam, mentally, you know.
Chun teachers here and in, especially in Hong Kong, how have they found you being a Muslim and how do they find Islam?
Oh, that's another lecture. Okay. My teachers. One of my teachers, Sifu Louison, he lives in Redbridge. I met him about a month ago, and he's happy for me. He's a really nice teacher. He's open-minded, and he's happy for me. He said, "You're a Muslim," and he said, "Yeah, I know some Muslims. I know some people live next to me are Muslims." And I speak to him about Islam, so he's open-minded, and he's okay. You know, doesn't matter if some of them become a Muslim. As long as you convey the message to them, that's it. You've done your job. I'm not really worried about if you become Muslim or not, but my job is to convey the message, and that's it. I've done my job. And if you become a Muslim, it's by Allah, not by me. I just convey the message. But if I don't say nothing at all, there's a problem. You know, I'm in the dark. I'm in the corner. I don't come out as a Muslim. I don't act as a Muslim. Then I not say nothing. And if I do come out as a Muslim and come as a bad Muslim, then I portray Islam in a bad way. And that's it. So you get a negative and a positive. We try to do everything in the positive, and when we see negative, we try to fix it straight away. That's it.
One more last question before we conclude.
And also, another thing, the teachers I've learned from before, they're from Hong Kong, they're Buddhism. You know, you have to give them down the same way, and it doesn't change their heart, they change their hearts. But they leave me alone, let me practice what I need to practice. Example, I didn't see my teacher, one of my uncle, we call Sifu. I wrote him a letter, I went to Hong Kong a year ago. I wrote him a letter, I said, look, my life has changed. I didn't see him for about 9 years. I went to Hong Kong last year. I wrote him a letter saying, look, I've changed. I don't drink. I'm not going to socialise with women. And I'm not going to sit at the table where people drink beers. Respect my religion, but I'm coming to see you. So, I told him. So when he greeted me, and he said, oh, you're Muslim, yeah. He said, go to a restaurant. I said, go to a restaurant, go seafood. I can't eat with pork. Chinese people love yeah, pork. So I said to him, no, I can't eat no pork. I can't sit with your pork, man. You know? 15 years ago, I could have. Eat pork. Maybe it'd be nice. But now I'm a Muslim, I can't eat pork. You know? So I said, I can't eat. So he understood. He said to me, don't worry, we go to a seafood restaurant, we saw seafood. He said, alhamdulillah. Once you told me, explain to them, that's it. I'm still the same person, bubbly person. It's just I'm a Muslim. I'm not changed. Or it's just my belief is different than your belief. That's what it is really. But we can still sit with each other. But certain things I can't do with you. I can't drink. And when you think about it, as a Muslim and a non-Muslim, we can do many things together. It's only a couple of things that we can't do together. You know, we don't want to play. We don't want to listen to my music. We don't want to womanize. We don't want to have the food, the pork. We don't want to gamble. It's only some things, but everything else we can do. But people think, oh, we can't do nothing with the non-Muslims. No, it's only you can name it on your hands. Only 10 things you can't do. Everything else you can do. And the Muslims even think that way. They think that, guess what, we can't do nothing with the kafirs because they're kafirs. That means non-believers, sorry guys. Yeah? Right? So, they think we can't be with the kafirs. And then what's really funny, when I meet a lot of Muslims, Reformed Muslims, they say, that kafir. I said to him, was you a kafir once? So how can you call someone a kafir when you was a kafir once? You should say, give them dawah, speak nice to them, try to bring them into Islam. You can't say to them like, an enemy. And plus, you're living in a kafir country, a non-Muslim country. You get money from the government. So how can you say a kafir this, and you get money from the government? It doesn't make sense to me. You see, this is the intellect and understanding, deep understanding of Islam. And in the Islam, it tells you that all about this. The Prophet did upon him. He sat with the people, gossiped with the people. Same thing. But the problem is, like I said, you're not reading your history, your seerah. You're not reading nothing. You're not understanding the history of Islam. You're just praying like a normal prayer. That's it. You think that's it. Islam is not about praying. Islam is action, put into practice. But because you're just praying, well, Wing Chun is not about Wing Chun. I've got to test you, make sure you can do Wing Chun. So many teachers I meet in the past, what are they going to do? Test my Wing Chun. They will test my level of Wing Chun to see can I do Wing Chun. But if I don't practice, they can test me and deal with me, give me a hard time. But I practice. So what Allah does for us, test us in every different way, same way. He tests us through our prayer. He tests us through our friendship. He tests us through our family. He tests us through our kids. He tests us through our desires. Everything is always testing us. So my Wing Chun, when I teach my guys, I say, you learn something? You can do it? They say, yeah, let me test you. Let me test you, see can you do it. Because one day, someone might test you. So I said to them, why do you practice this? Maybe you may not need it at all in the rest of your life. But just practice it, just in case. That's Islam the same way. Why do we practice our deen? We hope that we all go to Jannah. No Muslim will say they're going to Jannah because you have to hope by Allah's mercy that you go to paradise. But a disbeliever is definitely going to hellfire. But a Muslim cannot say, I'm going to paradise only by Allah's mercy. That's it. Yeah? So some Muslims think, oh, we're all going to paradise and the disbelievers are going to hellfire. They've got half the story right. Yeah, the disbelievers don't believe in Allah, will go to hellfire. But the Muslim, one, it's not a guarantee they're going to go to hellfire, to paradise. Only by Allah's mercy. They get it. And that's why we do everything, same thing, by our belief, and we practice everything, just pray by our good deeds. What we do, that we go to paradise by Allah's mercy.
Just to, inshallah, conclude, thank everyone for coming, especially Brother Usamah's students, who took the time out to come and listen to your teacher. So thank you for coming. Also to thank our brother Sifu Louison, for giving us this journey of his towards Islam. Very interesting, very unique, very amazing. Roman Catholicism, Wing Chun, martial arts, early upbringing, racism, Hong Kong. Eventually, Allah Almighty guiding him to this noble religion of Islam. It was an amazing journey. Just to mention that we have, I would say, thousands of people who have actually accepted Islam from the masjid. If I was to give a figure, it'd probably be around 6,000, over 6,000 just in this masjid and community. Saying this, many of them are service users. They come to the masjid, they learn, we help them, we support them. The vast majority would be service users. There are a few who are assets, and they provide service. And Brother Usamah is one of those. He's an asset to the community, he's a service provider, he advises people, teaches people, helps the people to stay together, to unite, to progress, and so on. So, he's one of a unique member within the community that we appreciate, and inshallah we pray Allah Almighty blesses him, blesses his family, and inshallah makes him and all of us die in submitting to Allah as Muslims. With that, inshallah, we'll have the call to prayer for the next prayer. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.